With Thorn.
Nittany Nation post game, the VILLANOVA game. Feeling a little bit better this week, right?
I feel a lot better. See, first of all, hit the over, so I can't be upset about that. Well, I can be, but
you can be because it ruined the shutout.
It did, but
like the shutout, still. I'd rather have the shutout rather than the cover.
Well, good thing we weren't betting this week.
But I mean, the announcers were out for they were trying to jinx that shutout for the entire fourth quarter.
Oh yeah, it was curse of the commentator from the start to finish there.
Every time Villanova had the ball, it was Penn State hasn't had back-to-back shutouts since 1996.
It's like, we know. Thanks.
It might have been every first down, let alone every drive.
Just letting the people know this. Hey, we're going to make this try to not happen as much as we humanly possibly can.
You have to be pretty positive. I mean, it looked like they were trying to feed Nick early on. Nick had like 12 carries in the first quarter.
Yeah, they were definitely trying to get him run, getting him. They're trying to get the engine fired up. There we go. That's what I was looking for.
Yeah, he finished the game with 20 carries, 84 yards, 2 touchdowns. So still not super explosive, just kind of churning 4 yards at a time. But, they're trying to get him to see it. They saved it. I think it's becoming clear that Katron Allen's going to be the number one once we get to real football.
Yeah, I could definitely see that.
Because he only ended up with 10 carries, 86 yards. He had half the amount of carries and more yards than Nick.
Man is a beast.
I think in 2 weeks, once the Big Ten schedule starts with Oregon, we're going to see a heavy dose of Katron. I think that's going to be the identity of this team.
And going to be honest, I watched a little of that Oregon game. I saw some Oregon slip-ups that I appreciated to see. When you've got those nerds at Northwestern breathing down your neck for 2 quarters, I mean, that's not good.
Yeah, I mean, going on the road in the Big Ten, which that's what they'll be doing when they come to Happy Valley in 2 weeks. Oregon still has next week to play too. So, I mean, they're going to go – we got the bye week. We got a little bit more rest. We've been resting for 3 weeks. We're going to throw another week of rest on there.
I'm telling you, we're playing cat and mouse. It's all part of the elaborate plan, my friend.
I mean, if we're going to be critical, which, you still got to be critical, you still would like to see Drew be a little more efficient.
Yep. Yeah, I can say that if you're gonna harp on anything in this game. Yep, the efficiency is still, not exactly where we want to see it.
And he had that one bad interception in the red zone.
He did have that. I was hoping, I knew you were gonna bring it up. I was just like, okay. Yeah, it's one thing, that you're gonna have to be on the lookout here for, but at the same time, maybe he's just testing the waters, making throws that he's like, oh man, can I get that in there?
Not on that
Villanova. I think we'll be okay if this one doesn't get in there.
Yeah, and I mean, and then he goes and throws that one touchdown to Traber Penny where he just throws an absolute laser down the middle for the touchdown.
Absolutely, it's on a rope.
It's in the arsenal. That's what's crazy. He lets you see it, and then he thinks too much.
Gotta stop thinking. Go have fun.
I think second half we came out, looked a lot better, a lot cleaner in the second half, I feel like.
This is looking like it's going to be a second half team kind of thing. I don't think we're going to punch anybody in the mouth in the first quarter per se. I think it's going to be more of a, okay, what did they do? Let's react and come out in the second. And see if we can make the proper adjustments. Because it kind of looks like it. I don't think I want to say that they come out slow, but I think they come out very methodical.
Yeah, I mean, there's nothing wrong with that as long as you have the defense to back that kind of style up.
Yeah, if you have that defense there, that it definitely makes the difference all the while, because you're able to, instead of you having to come out firing on all cylinders, you can kind of ease your way into the game if you have a defense that's just going to have your back the whole time.
Yeah, we had the defense held them under 100 yards passing, under 100 yards rushing, held them to 179 yards total. If you're looking for something to nitpick on defense, Villanova was 6 for 17 on third down, so Penn State did struggle to get off the field.
I wasn't looking for anything to nitpick, but thanks.
You always got to look for a little nitpicky. That, they gave up the touchdown as time expired, so we didn't get the back-to-back shutouts.
Listen, we don't need the back-to-back shutouts. If we want to give Villanova a little high five at the end of the game, go, hey, you guys did great. Have 6. Have 7.
What's nice about it is when we go against Oregon, the announcers won't be able to say nobody scored on Penn State in 8 quarters.
Yes, because right at the end, with time expiring, we were able to just slip one out there. So you won't be able to be like, oh, yeah, nothing's happened recently.
Yeah, we can't get any of those announcer jinxes going or anything like that. 5 penalties, all like false starts, offsides type of things. So still things to clean up there.
Which comes with time. And, everything offensive line always takes a little bit more time. Offense is always a little trickier than defense. So it's always, and the defense is always going to look better than the offense at the start. And it just so happens that our defense looks so phenomenal that it's kind of leaving our offense in the dust. And I think that's why we're getting a lot of these nerves, is because we're like, oh my God, this defense is so good. At the same time, though, it's always been the case where offenses always take more time to get the ball rolling than defenses.
Yeah. I think with the expectations of everything coming back on offense, like there's just an expectation that we were just going to run up and down the field. Nobody was going to stop us with the 3 lesser opponents starting the year. But like I said, hopefully we're playing cat and mouse. Like we're not showing our full hand. There hasn't been a ton of creative formations or, I don't think we've run a single really trick play.
Nope. The closest thing we ran to a trick play is an end around.
Yeah, like I feel we haven't shown the playbook. That's one thing for sure. But I think like kind of disappointed with how the bread and butter basically hasn't been as effective as we're talking about a 52-6 win.
Yep, there you go again. Just dwelling when you look at the score, and you're like, well, here's what we could. Yeah, I understand that, but I'm telling you, I'm all in on the cat and mouse game. I think we're going to come out in formations we've never seen before in 2 weeks. We're going to be motioning all over the place. The Oregon defense is going to look at us and go, uh-oh, this isn't good.
Yeah, like we're not putting a whole lot on tape for offense.
And I'm sold by it being by design. If we come out in 2 weeks and it's just the same thing, I'm gonna go, oh my God, I was so wrong. I'm so sorry. But if they start jiving and moving, a little bit different, then that's where it gets a little fun.
Yeah. Somebody I came out impressed with was Amari Campbell, the linebacker, number 24.
He was all over the place today.
Yeah, like this was the first time, like we know he's good, but this was like the first time where he was like noticeable on the field, like disrupting the run game, pass game. He had a sack. He led the team in tackles with 7. And Tony Rojas, I feel like the linebackers had their best game of the season for sure.
Linebackers finally showed up, and we did say that we were going to need to see something from them. So it is nice to be able to finally have something on paper that we could see them like, oh wow. So there are some linebackers there who are some dogs. Yeah, because we were impressed with the DBs, we were really impressed with the D line. And now it's just kind of coming incomplete. Now we've got the linebackers following in suit.
Yeah. Like if you want to, it would classify kind of as a down week for the D line. They had no sacks, no interceptions. Like, where was the interceptions? We've become accustomed to our D line getting interceptions over the last 2 weeks.
I know. I'm a little upset that we didn't see a 300-pound interception, if we're being completely honest here.
Right? I mean,
and one thing also impressive that I almost forgot. Our first drive of the game was like almost a 7-minute drive. Like taking up almost half of the quarter on your first drive. That I thought was really impressive.
It was super efficient. Like that first drive, that's what infuriates a lot of people is you made it look that easy the very first drive, and then you kind of went into a coma for 2 quarters.
Well, I think maybe that's them showing their cards and then going back into sleep mode.
Yeah, like I think
they're like, all right, this worked.
Yeah, that's like the perception. Like, okay, you just went up and down the field on them.
Yeah, so we did do that end around today. So I did remember seeing that. We did have that little tricky end around today. So that was the closest thing we've ever had to a trick play this year that I was referring to.
Yeah, like we haven't had I know we don't have Tyler Warren, but you haven't seen any like special packages where like, Tyler Warren was running the ball, running as the tight end, throwing. Like we're not dialing up anything super crazy yet.
Maybe it's all just a practice, maybe it's all smoke and mirrors. Smoke and mirrors. Smile and wave, boys. Smile and wave.
The defense got on the board with that pick 6.
That was an impressive pick 6.
Yes, that was like on that play, I was like, oh no, he's open. And then the quarterback waited a beat. Joseph got in front of it and then had an impressive return. So technically, defense outscored Villanova today.
They, matter of fact, did. If you include special teams, they definitely did. If you take both sides, if you took special teams and, But what I liked today was on the defensive side, everybody looked like they knew what they were doing. It really did. Everyone was in their spot. Everyone was doing their thing. Offensively, it did look like they were having a little more fun. They were running. I mean, there were a couple more. And I saw one thing I really wanted to see was some more plays to the outside. And I think we did see a significantly more amount of plays to the outside today than we did in the previous 2 weeks.
Yeah, I think that's really where Katron really got going. He was averaged 8.6 yards a carry. I think most of them came on those outside zone type plays. Where Penn State got really good last year toward the end of the year. They absolutely dominated, even though we lost the game. Like they dominated Oregon on the ground in the Big Ten championship, running those outside zones. Same thing against SMU and Boise State and Notre Dame. Like the end of the year, we were really good at running those outside zones and getting chunk plays out of it. And I think we were finally the first time we've had success with it this year was today and with Katron.
Yeah, I agree with you 100% there. I saw a lot of potential from the outside runs. It's going to be a very interesting thing to see there in regards to where we go forward. But I think everything is looking a lot better. I feel a lot. I mean, I don't know how you feel about this, but I feel a lot better than I did yesterday. If that makes any fair sense here. The team looks better. Everyone looks like they're really starting to get into the same groove. I mean, the defense just looked tip top the whole time. The one thing we had concern with came alive today. So at the end of the day, I think I just really want to hope that it's a cat and mouse game here. I'm really putting a lot of eggs into that basket.
I mean, I think what gives you the most confidence is you saw Oregon going to Northwestern and, 17-0 at halftime weren't exactly, it wasn't 69-3 like it was last week for them. So just to see Oregon slow down a little bit is going to give you a little bit more confidence too going into that game.
100%.
Yeah. And to see, Northwestern ran for 178 against them.
That is definitely something to look at. If they're putting those type of rushing yards on him, what is Penn State going to do? And by the way, Trevor Pena's touchdown pass was unbelievably awesome. If we're just gonna really quick, I got the highlights in the background here.
Yeah, 100%. Like that is the epitome of what is the most frustrating about Drew Aller is like he'll make that throw and then he'll miss a swing pass or a 5-yard pass, you know.
Is it the big plays that get into his head and then he's got to like it's like, you know, when you sink like a 20-foot putt and your heart rate's up and then you got to go up to the tee box on the next one and hit a drive and you're like, well, this isn't going to go well. My heart rate's like at 140 right now. How am I going to do this? All right, we need to get Drew some sort of like woo-saw, you know, some anger management type Jack Nicholson therapy.
Well, I think one of the things that benefits them the most is when they go no huddle, when there's not as much thought going into it. When they're going at breakneck speed, you can't think about it as much. You can't sit there and read the defense as much pre-snap and kind of predetermine where you're going. And when you're going hurry up and going as fast as you can, you just run the play and do what you see instead of what you think.
Oh, 100%. Yeah. I couldn't agree with you more there. And I think it is better for us to go with that turbo package and just, you know, make it easy for him. You know, there's your reads. Give him two plays in the huddle every time, and then go out there. We're gonna run this one, so he doesn't have to think. Boom, boom. All right, I know the plays. This is what we got to do. Get it done. And I never really thought about that as much, but I really like that idea of just got to go fast. Go that old school Oregon defense that was just go, go, go. And that'll take less off his head. You know, he's not going to have much time to get to the line, read, think, just throw balls and have fun.
Mm-hmm. Right. Like if you absolutely take the option away from him to think, that's when he's been his best, is when we are in the hurry up. But you can't run it all game because then the defense will get gassed. You know, you have to kind of pick and choose when you run it. And if you do run it, you have to be successful at it. You can't go hurry up 3 and out and put the defense right back out there.
No, you got to be able to. You need a lot of those first drives we had. You know, you need a 5, 6, 7, 8 minute drive that just wear and tear offense, which is, you know, it could be a very run heavy offense if you wanted to do that with the 2 running backs. But I think the best thing to do is if you can keep that defense fresh, there's no offense in college football, I think, that can keep up with them.
Yeah. Like the defense has just been out of this world. It'll be interesting to see once Oregon comes in because it's a different tier of athlete coming in.
Yes.
It's a different speed, it's a different size, different strength. But from what you've seen,
let's see Villanova play Oregon in basketball, huh? Oh yeah, all right, I see that. Yeah, but I see
that. Last thing I really want to talk about is this may be the strongest special teams we've had in quite some time.
They're all it's fun. Like, once again, if there's anybody on the field having fun right now, it's special teams.
Yeah, like Ryan Barker, the kicker, he's been automatic pretty much. I mean, he's only missed that one blocked kick at the end of the first half of one game. Other than that, he's been automatic. We haven't had a kicker like this that we're this confident in. I can't remember. Because even like when we had Jordan Stout, who could hit 60-yarders, he wasn't the most accurate guy.
No, yeah, he just had a leg behind him.
And then Gabe with Nuoso with the punting. I mean, that guy. I think he had the one punt that was inside the 10. Like he's been a surprise as well because we didn't even know he won that job when we started playing.
He's a bit surgical with his leg right now. He's putting balls exactly where they need to be. Almost to the point where he's telling his gunners, like, hey, that ball's going to be right there. And you need to be there by the time it hits the ground. And they're like, oh, okay. And they're like, oh, my God, it is right here. Holy shit.
Yeah, he had 2 punts, and both of them were down inside the 20.
That's all you can ask for from a punter. If you're pinning them, that's all you want to do is pin them inside the 20. Anything more than that is you're being greedy, but it's nice.
And then Devonta Ross, he's been super dynamic as a punt returner. I mean, he had, 34-yard return today. He had 4 returns for 52 yards. So that's more than what we've been getting out of that punt return, too, for the last few seasons.
And those little things make the massive difference. If you can start your drives on, let's say, your 42 instead of your 29, that is a massive difference. That's literally, and I don't think people realize how much, to the point where we're talking, over 10% of the field. You're talking at least one first down right there. These yards mean a lot. And for the special teams guys right now, I think they're looking so good to the point that it's fun. It's fun to watch them as well. And I want to make sure that they're just doing it the right way.
Yeah. Like, if you have, you're negating the field position game right now. The special teams has been kick return and punt return have both been really good at getting the offense a shorter field. Not that they've been great at converting on that shorter field, but they're giving the offense the chance at, hey, you only need 60 yards to get to the end zone. You only need 40 yards to get the end zone right now, instead of having to go 80, 90 yards.
Makes it a little bit easier for everybody. That Binkowski catch was unbelievable, by the way. Just seeing that at the end here, too. Just, that might be that's like catch of the year candidate. So good for you, Villanova. Oh, good for you with that catch there. You'll be on Sports Center.
At least they can feel good about something,
They're going to watch that. That's going to be on a running highlight film in Villanova football history for the next 50 years.
Let's see. Is there anything else that really sticks out? Not really. I mean, we were 5 for 11 on third down, so a little bit better than what we've been. But I think the one stat I seen at one point, Drew, was 0 for 5 throwing on third downs.
And that's where the efficiency is becoming an issue. We're going to need him to tighten up a little bit. Or if that's not the case, the running back, we got to make it manageable third downs on first and second. We're going to have to get something out of each one of those, so that we're not just leaning on the running backs, but, giving them an opportunity to get the yards that we need to just keep going down the field.
Yeah. Penn State averaged 6.7 yards a play today, which is right kind of in that range they were when the offense was really clicking last year, even though it didn't seem like it was clicking all game. Like, that 6.7 yards per play is right where we were sitting last year when we didn't have any issues with the offense.
Which is funny to think about. And we're over here sitting like it's doomsday. And we're on par where we were last year at mid-season strive. We're like, it's not good enough. We can't have this. They're not gelling. They're not having fun. They're overthinking. Actually, if you look at the stats, they're actually doing exactly where they were at full season stride. I don't care. It wasn't good enough.
Yeah, I mean, I think this performance, while not maybe as good or as clean as we wanted to see it, it's going to definitely be a little bit more positive going into the Oregon game than what maybe we thought could happen.
Which 100% I am leaning on it. And I've said it a million times, and people are probably over me saying it. It's a cat and mouse game. It's definitely a cat and mouse game. They are.
Now we get the 2 weeks off here for where we're just waiting for the first big game. Like, this is what we've talked about all summer. We have 2 weeks until the first game where we can change narratives, where Penn State wins this. It does kind of change everything.
If Penn State wins this, it immediately puts them on the map as the top dogs.
Right. Like, nobody thinks Penn State's legit number 2 in the country right now.
No, everyone
nobody thinks it.
Absolutely not. It's a how do I say this? It's like a faux pas from just being from last year that they gave it to us. And, the way we've played the first 2 weeks, unless, these coaches and these AP polls know something we don't, going back to what I was saying. But this is our statement game. We lose this game, I wouldn't be surprised we could drop down to 8, 5, 6, 7, 8, right around there.
No, I could see, dropping out for sure. Top 5, we lose, but you're like you said, you're probably gonna be in that 10 range. But then it just goes. Everybody goes back to saying, "Hey, it's the same old Penn State, same old James Franklin." Like Oregon may be the biggest game, and this sounds stupid. Seeing we made the playoffs and won 2 playoff games last year, Oregon may be the biggest game of James Franklin's career right now.
This game may actually have more implications than the playoff games.
Yeah, because everybody looks back at that and is like, well, they only beat SMU, who was number 10, and they only beat Boise, who was, I think, number 11 or 9 or whatever it was. But looking back, people discount those playoff wins, but they were playoff wins. But the narrative never changed that Penn State can win a big game, because in most people's minds, it was SMU and Boise State. Where you go and beat Oregon, that changes things.
That is a statement game. This is the statement game, and we've got all the juice going into it. I think we do. I'm excited to see what the team does, going forward, because now we're getting into Big Ten play. The non-conference games are over. Now I think we are going to start, or at least, like I just hope we start showing our hands a little bit more here. If this is the deck of cards we're playing with, then we better start getting some royal flushes. But hopefully we might have a couple aces up our sleeve.
We will always live on as the most punniest podcast ever.
I will try my damnedest to try to make a pun for everything.
We will never fail in that regard.
No, you can always expect a pun here.
But yeah, I think that'll do it for the post game. Like, we covered offense, defense, special teams. Looking forward to Oregon. We got 2 weeks to overthink everything, like Drew and Nick.
Yep, exactly. So now we will be doing the overthinking for the next 2 weeks, and we will see where that goes from there.
Right. Hopefully, like you said, no news is good news. So hopefully we'll stay out of the news. The one thing we can't have happen, Coach Franklin can't say nothing the next 2 weeks.
Please, he needs to keep his mouth shut, for the love of God.
Right. Do not give Dan Lanning or Oregon a single word.
I would love it if, like I said, he just walks into every press conference with duct tape just right across his lips. Like, no, I've learned my lesson. And nope, not doing that again.
He's going to say something.
I know, dude, but oh my God. Let a boy dream. Just let a boy dream.
All right. That'll do it for us here. Like, subscribe, review. See, a lot of people joined us for this post game, so hopefully you guys like the content. We'll be back with you Tuesday at 9:30. We're going to start talking Oregon, because that's what we have up next on the schedule.
We'll probably do a quick little James Franklin presser from this game for you guys. And then, it is all Oregon all the time for the next 4 episodes.
Right? We might have to go post game on the Oregon game next week.
I actually would not be against that. That would be hilarious. And we just sit there and critique every single little thing we saw Oregon do wrong. And then we tag the Oregon channel.
Right.
Yes, I love that. The Oregon channel should let us come into their post game. That's what we should do.
Just barge in.
Oh, guess what?
All right, that'll do it for us. Thanks you guys for watching, and join us on Tuesday.